had to jump on here. Gary Vee's dropping some major alpha live. We've been waiting on this for a while now. All about VeeFriends Series 2 and book games and how that works. Stuff that we've been talking about in videos for a while now. I wanted to make sure that we got this information out quick because the floor is rising. It's getting pumped really fast, really hard right now because of this info. So wanted to bring. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now. So Gary Vee came into the chat here in Discord and made the statement earlier today about 4 o'clock and said, if you're patient with your fire, you'll get everything you desire, or at least you get to burn first. And that's a hint for book games and new characters. So he posted that twice, talking about how the book games floor is going to get crazy. And he said having book games tokens is important, especially 5 of them is a good idea. So somebody said, why 5? He said, I said 5 for a reason, but 3 to 4 is amazing as well. Now, he said over and over that it's going to be a raffle. Having a book games token gives you the friends list and an opportunity to mint, and that minting opportunity is going to be a raffle. So the more tokens you have, the more opportunities you have. If you have 1 token, you have 1 opportunity. If you have 10 tokens, it's like you have 10 times the chances. Question that often comes up is, can I mint more than 1? He actually addressed that for the first time today. He said, if you have a book games token, you can get lucky and get on the friends list. If you have 23 book games tokens, you may be able to mint 8, 14, 19, all depends on luck. So it is a possibility that the more book games tokens you have, the more opportunities to mint that you can get. That's crazy. That's not something we knew. We thought maybe it was 1 per wallet. Maybe you had to have different wallets and hold your tokens in different wallets. It seems like that's not the case. If you have a token in your wallet, you get a chance to mint with that token. If you have a second token and you already get that chance with the first one, you could get a second chance. You could get as many chances as you have tokens. So people are sweeping the floor like crazy right now, trying to snatch up the tokens. I think the last time I looked, the floor was at 0.19 and rising. Let me check right now and tell you exactly what it is. It's definitely rising for sure. Yep, we're up to 0.21. So it's already going up, and this is just in the last few minutes. So some more stuff that he is talking about. People are asking about Series 3. He said V2 is meant to hold us over for a very long time. And when people really understand how book games NFTs are the tickets and keys to all things in the future, and a heart emoji, green check, and a carrot. Maybe that has to do with something with the hair that was dropped this week for VeeFriends holders. I think a lot of people that are VeeFriends folks haven't really picked up on the book games hype yet. That is going to change. The next 8 weeks, Gary said, is going to be something pretty amazing, pretty exciting. He's all over Twitter about it. He posted a video on Twitter today about the next 8 weeks and how he was doing a book games meeting today. He's very excited about the mechanics. He said that, quote, book games tokens are the mechanic for VeeFriends Series 2. If you've been watching my channel, you know that that's the case. We've talked about that quite a bit. But he's confirming a lot of the speculation that we've had about how some of this is going to work. Let's see. He said the book games token was always positioned as it may give you a slot on the friends list, but you get to keep the token. So people were concerned that they would have to burn their token to get on the friends list. That's not the case. You have a book games token, you get on the friends list. There's no burning involved in that. But if you want one of the 15 new characters that, if you saw his Twitter or Instagram this week, he's been drawing the new characters. If you want one of those, you will be required to burn for those. And the speculation, as I mentioned in my last video, is that different frames will match up to different characters. There are 15 frames in book games tokens. And in those, there's also 15 characters in VeeFriends Series 2. The thought is you might have to burn 5 or 10, let's say, wood frames to get a specific character in VF2. 15 marble or 10, 5, 10, 15 marble frames to get a specific character. So each frame might match up. That's why when I recommend people, they want to sweep the floor, I say, if you're going to sweep, get a bunch of the same type of frame. I don't know which matches up to which. This is speculation, but it seems like he's confirming this, that you definitely will have to burn. He's talked about frames quite a bit in the past. And so it seems to be some correlation there. Let's see. He said, getting Series 2 on the open mint will be insanity. Book Games tokens are definitely a better chance. So after everybody who has a Book Games token that wants to mint gets their chance to mint, and if there's anything left over, then it will go public, and that will be some serious gas wars on that, because there are, like I said, a ton of people who are VeeFriends holders are familiar with VeeFriends who aren't, they're sleeping on Book Games, and they don't really understand that Book Games are the keys to the VeeFriends Series 2. So if they went in on that, they're going to have to come over. The floor is going to be higher. And if they miss the friends list after Series 2 is launched and they're trying to get it, that public mint, you're going to have tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people trying to get into that mint. Gas wars are going to be pretty high. You're going to pay a pretty steep price for that. Gary said, you can go 12 for 12 and be able to mint 12 Series 2, or you may go 6 for 12 or 4 for 12. We'll see. But every token is an about. What is that? Every token. I guess he pressed enter too soon. Every token is an about something. Let's see where we're at here. He's going pretty fast and furious right now. Somebody asked him what the hint was. He said, patience lava is the hint. Now, he did say earlier today that if you have lava and specifically mentioned patience, you'll get an opportunity to burn first. So I don't know how that plays out exactly, but there does seem to be something about that, and a lot of the patient lavas are off the floor. Earlier this week, I had mentioned, somebody had spammed a bunch of patient pigs. Those are gone. I don't see any on the floor right now. I'm looking for, I don't see a single patients on the floor on the first. Well, there's one right there, but the price on that is 1,000 ETH, so that's not even the floor. I don't even know why that's showing. But nothing in the first 100. That's a patient lava to find. And then the price continues to rise to 0.23 ETH on that. Let's see what else he's saying, because he's still in the chat right now. If you're not in the VeeFriends Discord, you should be. If you care at all about book games and all about VeeFriends Series 2, you need to be in the Discord often. I'm in there. Friend me, add me. Happy to answer questions, try to keep you updated. Let's see. There are blog posts on VeeFriends that'll tell you how to connect your wallet, how to get Immutable X, get on layer 2 to be able to buy if you haven't done that before. I'm thinking about making a video. Yeah, so appreciate that comment. There is a conversation going on about how there might be, let's say, 20,000 VeeFriends Series 2. I'm just throwing that number out there. I need to double check it. But let's say there is that many. There is going to be collectibles that go with that, and Gary may limit those collectibles. He's talked about collectibles being a part of the things going forward. He really likes having figurines and stuff like from the 80s. And so it may be that there's more NFTs than there are collectibles. Those collectibles could be something down the road, and he could limit that side of things even if he doesn't limit the NFTs. So it's all in where you place your value, whether it's the NFT specifically or the utility and the associated value or stuff that comes with it. For every book games, let's see, hang on, I want to make sure I get this right. Someone asked, how many book games NFTs will we need to mint a Series 2? He said, maybe one. For every book games NFT you have, there'll be an opportunity for that to turn into a slot on the friends list, and you don't have to burn your token. That's right. We understand that. That's consistent. It's good. Where are we? Sorry, guys. I typically, make videos and edit and do all this, but this was coming fast and furious, and I didn't want you to miss it. I didn't want you to be left behind on the floor because it's rising so fast. Maybe it'll subside and go back down, but with this alpha and people starting to understand what's important, you need this information. You need to get in on it quickly. Let's see. Those are for later use. Is Champagne Token a good bet to get a rare V2? And he said, no, those are later use. In one of my earlier videos, I mentioned how Gary had said, have 5 caviar and 5 champagne frames laying around for a rainy day. At one point, way early in this process, maybe the first week, he had talked about offering different types of utility, and something being like, maybe he flies you and 10 friends out to a wine tasting in California with him. And, you'd have to burn caviar and champagne frames for something like that. And it was just speculation, just off the cuff, but it's things like that where he's adding utility and value. And people are asking about that again. When do we need champagne? And he said that's for later. So maybe he has some plans for that down the road. Someone asked, give us some VF1 news. And he said, you'll see he's not focused on that right now, which is great because we've been desperate for this book game news. Let's see. He said all the book games tokens are just art. We're talking about the just art bundles, which were the early way to win or capture utility, which was trading the 13 core attributes in the 5 spectacular backgrounds. So for 65 total tokens, trading those in for a just art bundle, which got you a Gary Vee originally owned Series 1, as well as a, just art bundle, a originally owned just art bundle, and a original artwork. Book games original artwork. Those were all claimed in the first week, I think. VeeFriends is 8 months old. Let's see. So, excuse me. Gary has mentioned a bunch of times on different podcasts. Sorry, my office is a mess. My wife is renovating. That he wants to do a theme park. And I heard a YouTube video today about one of the VeeFriends partners that he works with, one of his employees or someone he works with, talking about that theme park, maybe being in New York. And he said that, he thinks if you have a VF1 and you're in with the things that he's about, like VF1, and you've paid that kind of money, you should have a lifetime pass to that theme park. And people are asking him about Disney. Are you going to be bigger than Disney one day? And he's like, it might take me 50 years and I'm going to try. And I just think that he's constantly looking at cool new ways to offer value for what you see and what you have in these NFTs. And he said it on Twitter this week, and I posted in my last video where he said utility first, or I retweeted it, utility first. When Gary says that 98% of these projects are going to go to zero, it's because they're rug pulls. They're all about people making a quick buck and then throwing it away. What's up, fellas? And he's all about adding utility and value. And when you're talking about theme parks and lifetime value, stuff where like you can get a VCon ticket and you get, if you have a VF1, you have 3 years of passes to VCon, which is, tickets are a lot of money for that stuff, as well as hotel stays and all that. He's giving you utility and years worth of value just for buying these NFTs. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to sustain a project. It's not the quick turn a buck. Hopefully people like your art and they buy it and you make money. Oops, they didn't. And so you're broke now. You just spent a lot of money and got nothing. He's trying to change the dynamic of what NFTs are. And I think when the normals start to understand what this is and how this works, you're really going to see these people jump in and dive in as long-term investors. Right now, the flippers and the speculators, maybe that's you. I think you guys are playing a dangerous game. You've got to look at the long-term utility and value. And as I said at the end of my last video, that's why I'm in with Gary Vee, because he staked his IRL reputation on this stuff. And if he does a rug pull, his real life businesses are going to suffer. And he's not going to do that. And I haven't seen any indication of that. He's continually adding value, continually interacting with us in the Discord every day, on Twitter. Everywhere you see him, this guy is everywhere trying to demonstrate that he is legitimately who he says he is. And I'm buying into that. So that's why you're going to see my videos mainly about this. I'm thinking about making some videos about just how to get into book games for people who don't understand. It's a little bit of a process to get to layer 2. Take your Binance or your Coinbase or whatever, buy your ETH, get it to MetaMask, get it to Mutable X, get it to Token Trove. That can be a little daunting, but when you figure this out and you understand what's going on here, it's a huge picture. The floor continues to rise here. Let's see where we're at. A little bit of alpha changes everything. We're at 0.22. So we've gone up 0.03 ETH in the last half hour. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see. What's ETH about 3K right now? So it's already up $100 in an hour. Probably go up more, I can imagine. So anyway, guys, I really just wanted to get this video out. Sorry for the shakiness and the lack of editing and maybe kind of the jumping around, but this stuff is right where we want it right now. If you're going to get in now. You wait a week, the floor is going to rise. You wait, I projected that the floor is going to triple before we get to the Series 2 launch. That would put us at 0.6 ETH. That means you'd be paying $1,500, maybe almost $2,000 for one token, when right now you can get it for $400, $500, $600, maybe. And it's been steady low like this. So get your tokens, get your chances, and you'll get a chance to mint something that's going to be truly powerful and unique. Series 2, he said the mint's going to be less than 1,000. You look at Series 1 right now, what's the floor on that? 12.5 ETH, so 40K roughly. What can Series 2 do? I don't know, but I'm banking on it and betting that it's going to be something. So somebody asked again, how many total VF2 are there? He said a lot, but demand will be bigger. And that's probably the case. And when demand's high, prices rise. Hopefully I didn't pause there. When demand is high, prices rise. That's Econ 101. So the demand's going to go up. You've got a chance to get into something for less than $1,000 that could really turn a profit and have some long-term utility. Highly recommend it. Do me a favor, check out some of my other videos. Let me know what you want to see. How can I get you better information? I'm trying to pull not just from Discord, but from Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, anywhere that Gary Vee is. He's the founder. He's the game master. His credibility and his team drive the value to this investment. This is a financial investment for a lot of us. And I'm giving you all the information I can possibly give you to make sure that you can make the best decisions with your investment. Yeah, ETH is rising. Appreciate that. I think that I'm trying to track whether the floor is changing up or down based on ETH rising, right? If ETH goes up and they want the token to remain the same value, then the cost on the token on Token Trove has to go down a little bit, and maybe that there's a correlation there. But right now, this alpha is driving this rise. That's just the bottom line. VCon in May. So somebody asked, what's next after Series 2? And what could he possibly do? Everything's going to fall off after Series 2 and the mint and all that. And I said, somebody said, what else can he do or offer that's going to make these prices rise? And I said, well, maybe in May, an announcement from a stage, when you have thousands of people who care about NFTs and tons of speakers and all that, he could kick it up right again in May. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Jumbo. Appreciate the question. Will the floor rise after Series 2? I think that after the Series 2, right? Series 2 is going to drive it up pretty good. I think it'll steady rise. But then VCon hits in May in Minneapolis, and he's going to announce stuff like, hey, this is what we're doing for the summer. This is what this is going to offer. I think that NFTs are about access, stuff you can't buy, long-term investment. I'll answer that in just a second, Supercars. It's a long-term investment with utility and lifetime. Gary Vee says this is lifetime stuff. So you're going to see rises and falls. Let's say the market crashes. Let's say the real stock market crashes, drags ETH down with it. Stuff can crash, but when you have lifetime value and you have utility, you're going to see this stuff steady rise. So you've got to have some diamond hands and think about your investment. If you're trying to make a quick buck, there's opportunity. I don't think book games is where you should be. I really don't. I think your VeeFriends play for Series 2 is where you should be saying, hey, this is something I want to get into for 6 months to flip. If you're going to flip, 6 months to see what value he might add. And then a year, 2 years, 5 years. What can this guy do? He's talking about koalas. Koalas 2025. He said you're going to see utility in 2025. That's 3 years away. Are you willing to hold for that? You're going to pay 6 ETH for it right now, maybe even more. Some I think sold for 13. So are you going to hold for that long? Are you going to get the value out of it? So the question that was asked, do we think it'll fall off after VF2? Let me make sure that was the question. I want to get it right. I can't see it. Supercars, you might have to ask it again. But I think you said, do we see it falling off after Series 2? Again, maybe a little, and then VCon hits and it pumps right back up, right? And I think what he's going to do is offer more book games, quote unquote games, where he'll say, hey, I want you to burn this one, and the exchange is going to be updated with new stuff. You saw that he dropped the Budweiser NFT with utility on that. So he's constantly providing different avenues and ways to play. And I think he's going to do that in the summer, in the fall, in the winter with different games where he'll say, if you have, 20 of this specific token or this frame, we'll give you access. I told my wife something like, dinner with Gary and Michael Jordan. How much would you pay for that? You can't buy that, but maybe that could be a thing. He's never said Michael Jordan, don't get me wrong. I'm just throwing out there something that people would find valuable and would pay for. And if you have to have an NFT, look at his restaurant in New York. He just opened one. He's talking about opening it up. He's looking at Miami and other places. You can't get in that restaurant unless you own an NFT. He was on a podcast with the guys today, and they said, let me get the names real quick because I want to call it. I got it right here. Podcast with Cody Ko and Noel Miller. And they said, Gary, can we get in your restaurant? He goes, if you want to suit up and get to work in the kitchen, right? But other than that, you're not getting in. And that's the truth. So that's value that you can't buy. It's access. And I think that's the real value of what's going on here. Quick update here. Dinner with him and Shaw. Yeah, exactly. Judging floor price within the first several months is silly when I have spoken daily that this is a 45-year project for me. And don't forget, all of you are in charge. You can sell it anytime. It's true. Somebody asked, is there a royalty for V1 holders at a Series 2 drop? And he said no, which I think is cool. Like, I think he has great plans for VF1. He said it's the Holy Grail. He said it's his project for life. But I think he's also not going to oversell and try to cheapen his other projects just to continue to benefit Series 1. I think he's going to build consistent, methodical utility into each of the projects that he's working on. And I think he sees book games not as separate, but as a complete project in itself. He's doing a connection here with Series 2, but I think in the long term, book games is going to be a thing that drives other things and is not beholden to other things. Dinners with him and Shaq. Okay, cool. I'd do dinner with Shaq. I think Shaq's brilliant financially. You should look at some of that guy's videos. His investment strategies are incredible. Entitlement is the disease. Envy is even worse. Lack of gratitude even more. Cool. Nope, it will be years for Pony. Gary Vee, any update on the utility for Pony and Pandas? Nope, he said it will be years for Pony. Honestly, think 80 to 90% of all holders hold around 5 to 10 tokens. I agree, Simon. That's about where I'm at. Right? I'd love to say I have 50 tokens. I don't roll like that. I got kids, man. It doesn't work. How many book games tokens? Yeah, Ryan. So I'm between 5 and 10. And looking at the floor, I told my strategy on my last kind of pre-recorded one that wasn't an edited video. I said, I'm not holding a bunch of super rare tokens. I do have a neon that I'm pretty proud of, but I look for tokens that have value and I think can appreciate over time because they are somewhat rare, but they're not so rare that if Gary offered me dinner with Shaq, I wouldn't burn it, right? Like if I had an ogre, I'm not burning that for dinner with Shaq. That's like, what didn't an ogre just sell for 63 ETH? Something like, what is that, $200,000? That's amazing, but I'm not selling that for dinner. My wife will find another way. So I want to have tokens that are rare enough to have long-term value, but not so rare that I would really struggle to burn and have to fight myself on that. I'm sorry for the coughs, guys. I've been sick last week. Let's see. Nothing to update you on. Any info for the Kind Candor? It's the only token that has the F word in it, so does it hold a special place? And he said, nothing to update you on with that. That's funny. I think that's just how he talks. So somebody said, Gary, will VF1 get a VF2? And he said, no one knows. I think that, yeah, Nick, you'll be able to rewatch it later. I think about the Raffle hint. Simon, check my last video. I talked specifically about that. And I'll try to mention here, I want to catch up on this. I don't think that he's going to give VF1 holders a VF2 for free. I don't. I think he's going to make them hold a book games token, just like all of us, get a chance to mint or go to the public mint. I think that he's going to provide them some type of value. Maybe he gives them some of the collectibles for free that I had mentioned, the VF2 collectibles. as part of their gift. He's doing the gift goat mini drops and giving out jackets and things like that. I think he does more along those lines, but I don't think he cheapens Series 2 by just giving them away to other people. He's already said you have to hold the Book Games token. It's a key to getting those a Series 2. So I don't think that they're going to get for free or an airdropped one. Somebody said, can you tone down your cursing? He said, I can't. I apologize. That's not, let's see. You'll see soon. What's the V1 hint for the Just Art holder surprise? You'll see soon. That's kind of what I was just talking about. I have 3 V1 but only 2 BG. Should I cop more book games to get a VF2, or I'll be good with my 3 V1? He said, you'll be very, very, very good. Still don't know what that means. I'd love to. We miss you in Twitter and your alpha. He sends alpha all the time. So the supply for VF2, somebody said 20 maybe. His Series 1 was 10 and a half, 10,555, I think. I had originally projected 10,555, like he'd do the same, but I think he's going to do more for VF2. But he might limit the collectibles that come with it. So there's talking about being actual real life collectibles. Gary's big on garage sales and, real life, put it on the shelf collectible stuff. And he might limit that. So that's maybe only for special tokens or some other way that he limits. Somebody asked, don't you feel like this project, like doing this project on ETH, that it's way too expensive for the everyday person? He says, I have plans for the masses, but this will be a premium product. Yeah, Gary's big on scaling himself. If you watch any of his Twitter or anything that he puts out, he's talking about how he wants to do more than just Gary Vee. He's one person. His time is limited. There's a lot of speculation about him developing these characters, developing like movies and cartoons and, teaching about empathy and gratitude and all that. This would make great children's cartoons, stuff that I would want my kids to watch, to learn about how to be thankful and have conviction and curiosity and all that. So I can certainly see him doing that. And in that case, those types of things could be built into smart contracts, if he has some kind of production company in that way, right? I think, Nick, depends on what your goal is for cheap frames or a few rares. Right now, the cheap frames are going quick because each one gets you a chance to mint, and you can mint more than one, possibly. So cheap frames are going right now. The floor is getting swept. You might have to wait a few more days for it to come back down. It was at 0.19. It might even at 0.18 earlier today. It's up to 0.22. So he said, mint, does this mean it's going to be random? So yes, it is random. So that's the thing about Raffle. Check my last video. Gary had said it's like a raffle ticket, right? You have one Book Games token, you get a chance in the raffle, and you might get drawn out. You might get a chance to mint. If you have 10 tickets, you have 10 raffle tickets. You might get drawn out 10 times. You might not get drawn out at all. It's a pure chance for that. Is lava in general going to be fire, or only patience lava? Patience lava, he says, and you're not seeing any of those on the floor right now. Nothing. Dead air here. Can't have dead air. Apparently that's a no-no. For VF2, even better for special VF2. Don't know what that means. Gary Vee, with 5 Book Games tokens, is it guaranteed one space for the friends list? No. That's a short answer. No. Now he's doing one-word answers. Do frames matter? Maybe. If you don't know that frames matter, go back and watch all of my videos. I literally post 20 to 30 quotes of him saying frames matter. That's true. And Ryan, I think the problem with that is that it's kind of hard. And I thought about making a video about it because I think, can my sister do this? My sister's a doctor. She's brilliant. But to get from your bank to your crypto exchange to MetaMask to Immutable X to Token Trove is a lot. And if you're not computer savvy and if you get overwhelmed easily, it's hard. So I think there's a lot more that needs to happen. for the simplicity side of things, the UI in dealing for the masses to kind of jump into this. But we can certainly do our parts as content creators to try to make sure that we make it as easy as possible, because the more people that get in, the more money's in circulation. Again, I'm not for Ponzi. I'm not for quick flip. I'm for lifetime value and utility. And that's why I'm in on book games and not other NFTs. I don't deal with other NFT projects. I'm aware of them, but I'm not invested in them because I don't know those people. I've been following Gary Vee for years. And I believe, again, his credibility is staked to his real life businesses and who he is in real life. And I have yet to meet a person to tell me and prove to me that Gary Vee is fake. V2 comes out in April. We need special combinations to burn to get the mint. So the only thing about the combinations, every token is a chance to mint. The combinations or the frames, the speculation is it might be a specific frame for a specific new character. You don't burn your tokens to get the chance to mint. You only burn if you want a new character. And we think that it will be specific frames for specific characters, but we don't know which. Someone said, Gary, patience, lava, wood, which is a specific tokens in book game. And he just said massive. Like that's a good thing to have. You guys need to post in the Discord to tell people to join this live so we can get questions answered and get stuff and maybe thinking of stuff. Right? But, oh man, I missed that. And I've got my chat turned off right now. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Not really book games related. Do you think that we'll see way more layer 2? Absolutely. Sorry, this is my first time doing this. So absolutely, we're going to see more layer 2. And the reason for that is the no gas. You talk to anybody on NFTs and they're like, man, the gas for this. And if I want to day trade and try to flip, you're paying gas every time. So layer 2, I can turn my tokens over day in, day out. I can do it all day long and not pay a dime until I convert it back to layer 1 if I'm trying to pull it out, all the ETH out. So I think you're going to see scan your link Discord. I can't post a link in Discord. I put it in the Plug Your Socials channel, but you can't shill in there basically, right? So just search Busy NFT on YouTube. I mean, you guys are already here, right? Let's see what else in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here, by the way. Yeah, IMX has been better than I thought it would be. How many book games should we get to buy in? Should we buy to get into VF2? Oh no, don't want to stop streaming. Sorry. Every token you have is a chance. The more you have, the more chances you have. Like I said, I'm in the 5 to 10 range. I'm hoping that's enough. If it's not, it is what it is, but you have to invest what you feel comfortable investing and what you feel uncomfortable losing, right? Anything at any time as investments are risky. Let me say it if I haven't. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So you invest what you're willing to invest. And for everybody, that's different. Some people want to buy 50 book games tokens and they don't mind using that money. Other people have other priorities and families and bills and things they have to do. So I would say buy what you can buy and feel comfortable. If you buy all those tokens and you don't get to mint, could happen. So I'd hate for you to do all that and then be mad and be hurt by it financially. So try to be smart with your money. Somebody said to him, I made a ton of financial gains on your WoW recommendation. I have a good position for doodles. And he said, no worries. I'm excited for the future. I don't worry about price day to day. As I've said, I've also crushed for all of you with the alpha I've given here. I'm proud of VeeFriends, and VeeFriends will be number 1 in the end. Every ounce of doubt will be historically incorrect. Gary loves being underestimated and being doubted. Simon, you said for the raffle, you think it makes a difference if we hold out tokens on one wallet? So great question, Simon. And he said this, it doesn't matter. So he said that you have the opportunity to mint for every token you have. It's a ticket. It's a raffle ticket, right? And so if it's being drawn out of the raffle and you have 1 ticket in there and yours gets drawn, you get to mint. If you have 10 tickets in there, 7 of yours could get drawn. You get 7 chances to mint. You can mint 7 different VeeFriends Series 2. And that's a real possibility. So in that case, you don't need to separate it into different wallets. People were trying to game the system in that way because if I got mint on one wallet, then I'm disqualified anymore. And that doesn't seem to be the case. No. So Jumbo, you don't have to burn a ticket. You don't have to burn a token for the raffle. Just having the token gets you in the raffle, right? And the things will be drawn until they're out of tokens or they're out of people trying to mint. I think they'll run out of tokens before they run out of people trying to mint. So the more rare doesn't matter. That's why the floor is being swept, and that's why you should sweep right now. Let's see. Any hint on number 3 gift for gift codes? He said it's good. VF1 will always win. Lava Wood has the same value as Pearl Hologram with the Series 2 mint. Absolutely the same value. Long term, that may not be the case for other things, but for the Series 2 mint, absolutely the same value. Oh yeah, of course my phone's dying. So guys, this just hit tonight. I wanted to make sure I got out a ton of info to you. Like, he came into the chat at roughly like 10 o'clock and has just been blazing through ever since. He's still in there and dropping alpha over and over. I wanted to get this out to you quickly. I may do a recap video of a lot of this to kind of make it a little more easy to see and plain to see. Please add me on Discord, right? I'm happy to answer your questions. I think the value that I'm trying to add, one, besides some of that analysis, there's great people in Discord who are doing some of the same data analysis, and I would highly recommend being in that group and talking to people. What I try to do is pull from every source. I'm tracking Gary everywhere I can find him, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or he's on TikTok. This guy's on LinkedIn. I pulled a LinkedIn quote recently that he had said, which I thought was interesting. So yes, everyone with a token gets in the raffle. Jumbo, go back and check some of my videos. I was very methodical and tried to explain that in those, so it'll be a little more clear. But I'm trying to add that value to you guys. So if you'll continue to watch, subscribe, like, I appreciate all your comments. Add me in Discord. I'm happy to chat with you. Really appreciate you guys. Looking forward to this. And if I see anything new, I'll be right back on here with more info for you. Thanks so much, guys. Hey, Web3 is the future. Book games is forever. See you next time. Thanks for watching.